And we are into our captain's mode. This is actually how it looks like, guys. And EHOME, 820 captaining for this side, while TyLoo's Faith is captaining for TyLoo. And if you're wondering which hero that actually is, this is Anti-Mage being banned up by TyLoo as their first ban. EHOME 820 following up by banning one of his own trademark heroes, Vengeful Spirit.
Yeah, Vengeful Spirit has been one of those heroes that always gets picked. Great hero to actually pick up, even just first on. Never shows any strat, and is always helpful in any situation. It's going to be interesting to see how both these teams actually go, because EHOME's a team which, well, before this tournament, was pretty defensive in the way they actually played, and then they showed us a 90-minute match on day one of a very different playstyle.
Yes, indeed. They, with the recent addition of PLT, and as well as Axel being in the team, and Crystal, obviously three very aggressive laners, but they've decided to put Crystal on support right now. And so what we're going to looking for is Axeling mid lane most of the time, switching around. PLT gets his Beastmaster, he's going to be selling mid, I'm very sure of that. PLT showed us a very impressive Tiny yesterday, and excellent innovation by him, using Lothar's Blade to actually go into the base and toss out one key hero before the fight starts.
Yeah, it was actually an amazing performance, because IG almost coming back at the end of it. There was just one battle which basically decided it, and it always comes down to that once you hit about the 60-minute mark. Not only the 90-minute mark is what we actually yesterday, the longest game of Dota ever done on a professional stage.
Exactly.
As far as also, casting.
Yeah. This was actually the longest match we've been casting so far. Especially we had a little bit of a remake, so in total it was around 2 hours that we were casting.
Yeah, it's a hard ask for both these teams, because 5 days of competition. It's hard on everybody. You're playing every single day. You're always thinking about it. You're always amped up, and you're playing for $1 million as the first prize. It's a lot to play for, it's a lot of pressure, and we actually see finally our first pick from TyLoo is going to be Lich, always a safe first pick.
He's incredibly safe because simply he can be used as a solo mid to pressure the opponent solo mid, or used as a trialing support for his carry to farm up through his Dark Ritual, or even as a silent solo because of the set skill. He can actually keep the creeper to his tower all the time, so even Trians have a very hard time killing Lich.
Yeah, Lich is always preferred. Of course, that Dark Ritual, able to sacrifice their own creep, get yourself mana back, and of course that it actually counts as a normal deny, just like getting your last hit on your own creep.
Does not even count as a deny, but even you deny complete experience. Even if you deny, melee heroes will still get a fraction of the experience, but with Dark Ritual you don't get any
of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they are picking for PLT Beastmaster coming up, and Spectre being picked up as their second pick. We did not talk about the second bans though. This was Windrunner from EHOME being banned out, and TyLoo banned out Ancient Apparition.
Yeah, Ancient Apparition. He's been one of those heroes that when he appears, he is just so damn hard to control. And because he doesn't even need to be in the lane, he just sit there in the mid lane, just level up, and his ultimate has such a low cooldown. It's only about 45 seconds, and you can throw it anywhere on the map. Timing for it is always a tricky thing, because you've got to watch where you're going to throw it, and the positioning, and just knowing where to actually predict where it goes. Because you've got to hurl it across the map, and then hurl the rest of it across the map, and only then will it actually hit. So it's pretty hard to actually target, but for these guys, it's almost like having breakfast. It comes naturally.
Yeah, it's essentially the long range, the global range nuke he can pump out with Ice Blast and set up again actually before it actually happens. So his area of influence is immensely huge, and therefore he's being banned out. And two very quick picks coming up. This is Nerubian Weaver. Actually, no, we should not call him Nerubian.
It's just Weaver, man.
It's just Weaver, and Earthshaker being picked up by TyLoo.
Yeah, Earthshaker, great for the lane control. And at the moment, like TyLoo keeping the options very open. Weaver coming into the pick. Interesting to actually see Weaver coming up, especially after a couple of the matches yesterday. Weaver, while he is strong, he is a squisher of the carries. And going up against a Spectre, we actually had a match yesterday where it was basically Weaver and Spectre going up to see who could actually get more farm and actually out-carry in the end. And Weaver is still very fragile, even though maneuverable. Is actually fragile, has one advantage though, also a range hero compared to Spectra. So, interesting to see how EHOME actually approached this game. Last time we saw them play, they were very aggressive. Now with a Spectra and a Beastmaster, we may see the same sort of thing, but it's going to be still a little bit more late game orientated for them.
Yeah, Spectre is always a great backup character to count on, simply because of a global presence. You can farm on the lane, but if a team fight happens, you can hold in.
Yeah.
You don't need a TP for that, you can instantly be at any time. And Beastmaster, a very aggressive hero, and PLT, obviously I already said it, it's one of his trademark heroes.
Yeah. Beastmaster is just so amazing. In fact, you can use the Call of the Wild, gives you a hawk so you actually fly him around, get some vision, make sure he doesn't die, does give away some gold. As well as his boar, he actually gets in this. It's a good slow as well, so if you actually try and chase down heroes, very, very effective. Not to mention, of course, the axes clear the path, clear the wave, and then the roar over the top. One of the very, very few ultimates in this game that actually goes through a BKB.
He is one of the hot picks in this one, because, guys, only 46 heroes from Dota 1 are actually implemented. So we have only 2 heroes whose ultimates go through BKB. One of them is Beastmaster, the other one is Enigma. These are the only 2 heroes whose ultimates actually go through BKB. Necrolite could be counted as one because his disable goes through, but his damage does not.
Yeah, we were seeing the effects of this, like just the pool. Having a lot of teams now just picking up BKB after BKB after BKB until their entire team actually has it, because then the team fight happens how they want it to actually happen. You can't interrupt them, you can't stun them, and you just got to basically just go with it. As Puck is actually our 3rd pickup for EHOME. Puck, one of my favorite heroes, not just because of the voice work that Valve have actually done for Puck. Not to mention the awesome control you can actually get when it comes to team fights with Puck. The Warning Rift for the silence, the phase shift for actually trying to solo on the lanes as well. Illusory Orb, you can easily joint yourself back out again if you need to. And even being aggressive, being defensive, Puck is just one of those dynamic heroes, and it always takes a skilled player to really pull off a good Puck.
They actually have 2 players who can pull off a very good Puck indeed. We've seen X actually playing Puck yesterday.
Yes.
Very impressive. And FCV, actually Crystal, he's also known as a very good Puck player. Bans coming out from both sides now. We're into the 2nd banning phase. Witch Doctor and Tidehunter are being removed from TyLoo, while Clockwork Goblin and Enigma are removed by EHOME.
So there goes our last hero. They can actually go through the BKB. Clock a great initiate as well.
And global presence as well, yes.
So
he would fit in very well in TyLoo's lineup. And they have Kabu, who is also known as one of the best players of Clockwork Goblin.
Interesting to see also the Witch Doctor ban coming out. And some teams actually preferring to actually use Witch Doctor. We saw MYM actually use it yesterday on the stream, using it to actually push hard. They didn't want to just sit back. They wanted to actually push with the Witch Doctor. With the restoration he actually had through him, but he will not be appearing this time. And also Tidehunter, a very, very popular pick in the world of Dota at the moment, just mainly because of his Ravage.
That is true. It's his teamfight capabilities that make him insanely good. At early game, he could be one of those heroes who could tower dive easily because he's a strength hero, but his gush, it does 3 things at once. It deals damage, it reduces your armor, and it slows you.
Yeah, it's really, really hard to actually go up against that man. And now Venomancer comes up as the 4th pick for TyLoo. So as far as that goes, if there is going to be any push coming out from EHOME, Venomancer can basically do it. We did see Ice yesterday playing as a Venomancer. Actually went solo Veno, but we saw the main thing I was referring to is the power of the wards. You get those up to level 4, you can basically lock down anywhere. You just make a front line wherever you want it to be.
Currently, it looks like TyLoo are keeping the options of laning, how to lane very, very open. Because you could run Liches instead of mid, or maybe even run Venomancer. Because Venomancer is great against melee heroes, and it would be fairly obvious that Beastmaster would be going solo mid. And as we see Sand King being picked up, the first time a Chinese team actually picks up Sand King.
Yeah, this is slightly crazy, man.
And what I want to actually say is I'm going to call PLT on Sand King.
You going to call PLT?
Yes, definitely, because it was actually the hero that made him famous in the Chinese Dota scene. Many people don't know it, but Sand King is actually the trademark hero of PLT. So we'll be seeing maybe X on Beastmaster instead, Crystal on Puck, or something of this sort. But this is by bringing Doombringer, a very, very powerful hero.
We now have a mid-solo, man.
We have a mid-solo for TyLoo, or maybe he will go for the top lane, since on the dire side it will be the safe lane. And Doom is just especially great against those heroes like Puck, because one Doom just seals your death.
Yeah, because Puck obviously, once the Doom comes down, you do get silenced, you can't jump yourself away, and then you can also level death. A little bit more complicated to actually explain that one as far as the levels actually go, depending on your level, depends on the level of the death, depends on how much damage it actually does, but still, easy way is burst damage of level death. And then of course you can also flame off the ground if you want to. Regen as well as extra movement speed for Doombringer.
Doombringer is one of those heroes who creates so much chaos in here. And Lena being picked up as the support hero for EHOME.
EHOME definitely going with very it's aggressive, but it's also very, if you want to, you can be massively, like, you can still say in the later game, I can go nuts. I have my Spectra. We can farm up, we can still win this if it goes past like a 50-minute mark.
Yes, that does indeed. And we will now actually have a look at who plays who. Do you want to do EHOME, Toby?
I seriously want to do EHOME, man. FCB is actually going to be playing as Lena. So Lena and Spectra 820, the hero we did actually play up yesterday, so not surprising for that. And 357 will be playing as a Sand King. That'll be your tri-lane. And X looks like he's actually going to go solo mid as the Puck. And Beastmaster PLT will be running the solo top.
Yes, actually, Lamb decides that he does not need to use his lane right here. He's just using another one. And as we see, both sides actually running towards the respective lanes. Weaver should be a little bit careful. He can obviously Shikuchi out of it, but still, maybe they've pulled on. I have not checked their inventory yet. Yeah, actually, yeah, there's two options for Weaver, so he's going to put it on the side, just around this little area around here. Allows him to actually see that bottom rune to see when it spawns and when someone's going to come and gank him from the sides. You do still have that Shuki, but if you get stunned, you got SK stunned, you're going to have a lot of damage, which is going to come out when Lena actually chains off the stun as well, and then 820 with the dagger, and Love Silver is going to have a hard time on that. So we do have Weaver on the bottom lane as Love Silver, face as well. I need to explain, this is actually how. And this is the character play of them, and Weaver one of his favorite heroes. TyLoo, just DD. Obviously the solo mid going up against Doombringer as Toby correctly predicted. Kavu playing as the Venomancer on top lane, and Awoke on Earthshaker. We've seen it quite a few times already.
Yeah, there we have. We just changed around a couple of settings. Obviously there was no game sounds. What's a game without sounds, man? It has been done. So yeah, Lich and Weaver. We actually saw this combination coming out. I think it was from TyLoo actually. I think it was from IG. Using this combination before, and Silver's got to be careful right now. 357's going to look for the burrow. Is he going to get close enough? He is there, but the Shuki, you just can't get that stun, man.
Yeah.
It's always a hard thing too, because when you think you're going to go for the burrow strike, then the Shuki actually pops off and you stun basically nothing.
And you still have faith as our Lich in the vicinity actually helping out. I believe he actually skilled that ritual in the first place. So he still apparently does not have to disable. PLT going up against Doombringer and being fairly aggressive there. Doombringer obviously has very low armor. I mean, his model looks pretty boss, but a few physical hits actually hurt him quite a lot early game.
Yeah, and when Beastmaster also gets his Call of the Wild out, which he does actually have now too, it's going to be a little bit harder for Doombringer to actually move around, a little bit of slow, and vision on the high ground too. It's really, really hard to actually stick back from that. 357, his Faith just walking around. Faith has not even really stayed in the lane at all. He's just been rotating between near where the bottom rune is and down towards the, around the sides of the trees next to 820. It's hard for him to actually do so with 357 as well as Lena hanging around.
But obviously they want 820 to farm up fairly fast. He bought the Quelimate instead of the Stout Shield as his starting items. So because of the support of Sand King and Lena currently putting the creep wave, so the creep then actually goes back to the tower. It makes it easier for 820 to farm. So they really will want Spectre to farm up while denying Weaver his farm he actually desperately needs.
Yeah, Spectre needs it, and Weaver, well, he can still get it over time, man. That's one big thing we always see early on the piece. While you want farm early on, you can always just hang around. You just wait until you get a moment when there's a free lane or the opposition. They basically get distracted, and then you basically just free farm up a little bit. And that's when you really catch up on a lot of your farm that you miss out in this early period of the game.
Very early bottle there by Beastmaster. He already controlled an Invis rune, so he is not even afraid if TyLoo's DD flames the ground with Scorched Earth or gives him hits him a few times with level death. And PLT really being very aggressive there. I mean, he can't do that. And Sand actually comes in. This should be first blood. Brilliant. They sort of got first blood. Beastmaster takes the kill and should definitely help his case and laning up against him. He's still got an Invis rune there to bottle up, so he can still regen back up with no problem at all.
Yeah, so Beastmaster, fantastic start. Of course, you want a fantastic start on Beastmaster as well. Beastmaster, you can see him being aggressive, you can just see him being tanky, and now Kabu wants to go on X on the top, and he can do this as well. Venomancer is very great for harassing and pushing back as far as he wants to actually go, and X does get pushed back, and that gives even more space. And once again, we see a Venomancer actually going solo or carry Veno from another Chinese team.
Yeah, that is actually true. And we have one thing actually to check out. This currently does not quite work.
Yeah, so we'll just check it out because there are a couple. Yeah, so trying to get all the systems up and running. We broke down the streets. Everyone out there who's actually going, oh, we're running multiple streams now. Everything should actually be going pretty damn smoothly for people on the live stream, which is actually a insane amount of people watching. But people want to hear in the other languages too. It will be actually published about an hour after every single match. They will be uploaded to the Dota 2 YouTube channel. If you missed any of the videos, they are all being uploaded to there.
Yeah, looks like Carver actually maxing Plague was there, so Puck with his low attack damage is a very, very hard time farming up, even surviving in the lane. It's about gaining XP mainly. He's only level 2. Like, if you compare to Carbo, who's already hit level 5, with a Rogue's constant pulling of the creep wave.
We're going to have some fun. We have one person with an Invis rune coming in. The war goes out. Lich is getting done. Burrow Strike goes through. And Weaver just thinks I'm just going to shooky through. Has a little bit of harassment back. But with a DD rune popping, Beastmaster basically just nailed Lich down. So 2-0 in favor of EHOME and TyLoo. Their stride has been broken, man.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, PLT is always known for a very, very aggressive player, and he does it really well. He knows when to gank, and obviously with 357 and FCB in the vicinity, it's easy to do it. Weaver is a little bit more difficult to kill, so they just use it on Lich. Yeah. But gaining 2 very quick kills, this is definitely going to help them. Because currently they're winning mid lane, they're winning bottom lane. It's just top lane that's been pressured, but Puck can farm up later on, I believe.
Burrow again, Silver, they got Shane the stuns, Weaver's in trouble, Weaver is dead. Spectre gets the last hit as well, so even though both the stuns were chained out by FCB in 357, the big money went on to 8-2-0 as Spectre.
Which is very important because you always want your hard carry to have it. He's already got Ring of Hell, so he should not be far off his Vanguard. Meanwhile, Axe actually going to lane because he was pressured very, very hard, because at the same time, with his Earthshake as well as Venomancer, they are pressuring the top lane now. This should be fairly easy if nobody TP's in.
Oh, NCP, a little bit of trouble. Weaver waves here. Weaver's going to keep going. Silver wants revenge. Silver might get it this time. That she does land on Silver, who should give enough time for 8-2 to get back, but it still does cost FCB his life.
Yeah, they could realize that Sanking was not there, so they managed to go there. So very, very good, excellent play there. Anyway, the play was already on top lane. Carver really pushing this lane. This is a big strength of Venomancer, and this should be a fairly easy tier 1 tower now.
Yeah, that should be, as we're going to see bottom lane go a little bit nuts in just a moment. If SK can actually get there, we've got Silver caught out of position, but they won't find him because he's invis in his shooky.
PLT already hasted up and bottling up, so they might actually go for a little bit of a dive. They can definitely do it, with PLT being so tanky.
Yeah, Weaver, look, he's even cut off from the rest of his team right now. Beastmaster's on the run back out. He's wasted too much time on this bottom lane. It's always hard when you actually commit multiple people to a lane to try and get a gank. See, Beastmaster leaves it, and then DD has time to catch up on levels as well as on farm.
Yes, let's have a little bit look at the creep score actually. Yeah, it's around the same, but only on EHOME 2 guys are farming because Axe is not getting any farm at all. While TyLoo, 3 people actually getting the farm. Weaver, DD's Doombringer, as well as Carver's Venomancer. So in terms of farming capabilities, they're currently looking very strong.
Yeah, that they are. Bottom lane, Fade just being a little bit aggressive there. Not getting in too far. It is always a fun thing when you actually see Lynch try and play that. He just tries to harass down, then just falls back just a little bit further.
Yeah. Axe should be a little careful on top, but Walker's already in the vicinity. They might actually think of going him. He's only level 4, so even if he eluded you off that, maybe Venomancer with his snow can chase him fairly well. They just push the tower. They have a catapult in it. They actually have 2. Another one will be coming fairly soon. And Many Bake was already up on top lane. The Axe is having a really hard time. PLT should actually gank top a little bit, I believe. But currently he actually does not want Doombringer to get any farm, so he's trying to pressure him a little bit.
Yeah, this top lane is getting a little bit out of control as Carbo's going to go a little bit further down now. Level 7 Veno. He's going to go up against Ace, drops the Venomancer ward down, and realize he's harassing a little bit too much because SK is actually here. The Burrow's got to come, but no, great fissure. Holding 357 back. And Beastmaster bottles and activates the Invis rune. He's going to be looking for Carbu. Carbu's actually running straight towards him. And there goes a ward, doesn't actually see him because he's invis. There is a roar up his sleeve. If he can use it, if he can get himself in range right now, the range is there. But the roar, maybe just not at the moment. He can't keep up with Venno. They need to get this hit, and Awoke is actually still hanging inside the trees. Beastmaster's not giving it up. He wants it. He sees Kabu. There's no support for him left though, so he's got to do this by himself. And I think in the end he's just going to become a ward unless he thinks he can do it, actually blocking Kabu and invis. So Kabu should actually know he's actually here.
It probably does, like the Woke is still hanging around, so trying to kill the
support. Support's coming in. I think they actually want to do this. They really want to do this. Can he actually get double roar? There goes the roar. Kabu! Fuchsia! It holds 357 out, but not for long. He burrow strikes underneath. Kabu! Then pops the ultimate from the Venomancer. Earthshaker goes down as well. Puck came in to give a bit of a hand.
357 is really big trouble. He's playing. Maybe Doombringer could actually come in, but he's still on mid lane, so nobody coming in for support. But 357 really low HP, and he should really try to get out of this one.
Yeah, just sandstorming up, just to make sure he can actually hide inside the sandstorm. Of course, there is basically damage all the AoE, and he jumps invis inside it. And it is a way to basically avoid if you're low on HP from actually dying.
Woke just TP'd bottom. We might see a little bit of go on Spectre or Lena. They don't know it yet.
Where's the fissure? Where's the fissure? Here's not the fissure. There's the fissure. FCP locked in place with it right next to Silver. Unfortunately for Weaver, they only got Lena and Spectre got on the right side of the fissure.
Yeah, obviously they wanted to go on Lena because Spectre Dragon allows her to face through the fissure. But Axe in the fissure by Woke, we would not expect anything less. Is one of the best players and support players in the world. So actually TyLoo get a little bit of a range kill for the Venomancer and Earthshaker on the top. 5-2 is the score in general, while on creep stats actually Axe is catching up a little bit.
Yeah, only a little bit. So the most farmed person on the map is actually going down to Silver. 42 for 7. 40 for Doombringer as well. So it's still looking pretty good for both the TyLoo carries.
Doombringer has not been going gang. He's just been farming all the time, and he's completed his Vanguard already, so he's really tanky.
Yeah, because Doombringer, he can get to that point. Doombringer is one of those guys where his health never really caps as far as his power actually goes. So as you try and bring him down, it's really damn hard. It's going to become a battle of the tanks later on with Spectre, but Spectre, is he going to tank? Is he going to damage up? How does he go? Does he tank first and then Radiance? There's actually trouble in the mid. The wall was there. He's in trouble. 357, he wants to get through and the son of work is hit. Oh, Charlie's bouncing around. It's gone on the PLT. Just jump back in the creep wave. No one goes down just yet. 357 still sitting inside the sandstorm, dealing the damage. And there goes another burrow strike from 357. And work is caught out as well. It's a 3-0 trade in favor of EHOME.
Excellent play by EHOME, chaining up the Suns right perfectly. X coming in for support. PLT managing to survive. And great play overall there by our EHOME boys. They're really aggressive currently.
Yeah, EHOME, I love this style coming out from them. It's not just defensive, it's calculated attack, man. You know where to push in. And I gotta say, those SK hits, they are awesome, man. And there's just so much power, and I gotta say this, shout out to every single person out there who plays Dota and plays support. Support is one of the hardest things and one of the most rewarding things you can ever do.
Yeah, it's really, who would have thought that EHOME would one time be a very, very aggressive team after their performance last year? They will be very, very safe play, but currently they go for a little bit of aggressive. There's always like 4 people ganking while ATO tries to farm up.
Yeah.
ATO currently they're having not a very good time since Lich and Weaver are both down on bottom lane and pressuring him, so he can't farm at all. Vitality Booster should be on his way. It is actually on his way, so his Vanguard should be completed very soon. This will allow him to stay on lane.
They'll be here in time. Smoke, wears off, strike, burrow, there it goes, Silver, Epicenter's gonna follow, and he misses, Silver goes right! Oh, 357 misses everything! He misses everything on his Epicenter.
Well, ATO is actually in a little bit of trouble. Silver's coming in once again. We maybe see a little bit of a swarm, but they probably know that already the other supporters are in the vicinity. I'm not quite sure. I'm really not sure why PLT did not ulti.
Yeah, that was
a little bit weird. Going again. They will be going again.
They're going while mid's being pushed. Beastmaster, Raw, on bait, active flight. We were waiting to help out, but Lena just bursts on down. One flame to do the job.
Yeah. So much damage actually coming out. While Silver, he should be not be standing there. They chain up the stuns and another kill. Excellent play there. Hao probably thought that he could stay on the lane with his ultimate up and Shikuchi out of it, but it's just too much disable. And EHOME are one of these perfect team synergy. They know exactly if they can disable you for 5.5 seconds, they will do it.
Yeah, it's the timing for the start is absolutely beautiful, man. And the tier 1 tower is going to go down the bottom lane. We did lose the tier 1 tower in the mid as well for the Radiant. And looks like it's actually still being pushed out by Kabu. Kabu really looking for a lot of map control, wants to get rid of these tier 1 towers so his team can feel a little bit more free and also make EHOME fear just a little bit more pushing air. Because at the moment, the tower count is actually in favor.
Yeah, we leak a little bit of the gold count actually.
Oh, we can so getting towards the blink.
Yes, PLT has just arrived at 2k gold. We don't know if he going to go for a tanky Vanguard plus Hood or Plains of the Skull simply, or just go for a dagger for the initiation to actually manage to alter Weaver before he can Shikuchi out of it. X is also, after his really hard time, he's really trying to farm out. He's got 1.5k, he's also getting close to his dagger. So great play by EHOME overall, splitting the farm among them. But there are currently 2 people left unchecked, which are basically Kabu farming up neutrals if he can't be on the lane, if the lane's being pushed too far, and TyLoo's DD actually currently farming on top lane.
Yeah, once again, Rune going towards EHOME. Double damage for Beastmaster. How many? Have they got majority? They definitely got the majority of the runes actually going out. Like Beastmaster's always bottling it up.
Yeah. They're currently moving around, actually having a little bit of a break, seeing maybe that TyLoo's DD is still sitting around. So yeah. FCB helping X farm up. They're showing all 4 currently on the top lane. So well, obviously the one guy who's not there is A2O farming in the mid lane.
Yeah, it's going to be a tower trade right now. TyLoo, they're all on the bottom lane. In fact, all 5 of them are on the bottom lane. Weaver's coming back down as well.
I'm not quite sure, but I actually think that TyLoo are going to be faster because of Venomancer's wards.
Well, that is true. Well, Venomancer, maybe. We're about to find out. So who's going to get there first? The race is on. EHOME hits the tower first. They get a full tower of life to actually bring down. No creep wave out there for both towers, so
it's basically because of EHOME has a faster creep clearing capabilities and the radiant structure is being fortified. Not quite sure if they want to defend this one.
Nah, I think it's just trying to stall them, man. Just looking at the tower, and actually looks like EHOME, they want to stall them, so they're actually going to have time to push through to the tier 2 tower.
Venomancer getting the last hit on his tower, so this will definitely help this case and farm even more, tanking up. And Puck, we see purchased a Blink Dagger. So in terms of fighting capabilities, they can actually push it now. They really want it. They want the tier 2 tower coming to defend. It will be really easy for Puck to blink in and follow up with all the disables that EHOME have.
Yeah, wait for it, guys. Still 4 on top. They're going to push the tower in. Supports to go on back.
They don't know that Access Dagger up. They currently don't know, but EHOME are falling back. Maybe they go for a little bit of a counter gang. But PLT getting caught out right now. They're going on him. He's doomed. He can't do anything. Puck blinks in and all damage. But Linus dominating. San can get another kill on Lich. Meanwhile, obviously PLT being doomed. He died fairly easily. They're currently chasing FCB. They should get a kill very easily. But it is actually about if A2O can actually get out of this as well.
Yeah, he wants to try and live. He's going to give himself a regen rune. It's going to whack him a couple of... No, they don't. They actually let him go, man.
Yeah, he's too tanky to bring down. And Weaver doesn't have the mana to support his chase all the time. Yeah,
he didn't have enough mana for actually a Shooky at all. So it was a 2-3 trade in the end. Lina and Beastmaster going down for EHOME. Beastmaster being probably the biggest one of that to actually go down. But the question is, did Beastmaster buy his Blink? No, he actually went for Hood. Decided to actually completely ignore Blink Dagger and bought out Hood instead.
Yeah, he probably gives it. It's a very safe way of playing. I bet that's what EHOME are always doing. Because they're probably thinking that Blink Dagger, they don't need a surprise effect, they just run in and do it. 13-4. Currently the scoreboard. EHOME are leading by kills, but TyLoo are not by any means out of this game. They're still farming up. Venomancer's pretty fat, and Doombringer as well. So 13-4 does not mean anything. It's not about kills, guys. It's about who gets the push, and it's actually a lot about items and what you can do.
Into the mid. Oh, where was the extra stun? They never actually even got there. Silver gets away.
Yeah. Maybe they actually knew that.
It's so damaging when Puck jumps in like that. You just think, okay, the stun's going to chain off. But I think the biggest problem was Laguna was just off cooldown, man.
Yeah, probably, and Woke and Faith will also hang around, so even if they maybe survive this one. So currently we see Axe moving around again, looking for a little bit of a gank since he's already got his blink dagger up. PLT also moving around. Currently he found a little bit of neutrals. It's always an easy thing to do for base mother with his wall Axe, just pulling two group camps at once. And looks like they're currently going for top lane.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to actually bring down Doombringer though. Hood as well as Vanguard is actually completed for him.
And they're moving into the mid lane this time around. They probably want that tier 1 tower, which is on low HP already. And double damage up on PLT, so this one should be a very, very easy tower for them. Actually not gaining the last hit there, yeah. But so the gold will split among everyone. So it's a little bit of shame. If you think he's already popped that double damage rune off.
Yeah, a bit of a waste of the rune if you look at it that way. But that is the last tier 1 tower to fall down. Both sides, all their front posts are actually have gone. They also have their tier 2 towers intact though, so it won't be too bad of a time for everybody.
Yeah, in terms of towers, actually, it's fairly even till now.
It's just TyLoo really making the moments in those big fights, and they can hold out too if Kambu basically just decides he wants to put down a flame wall. At the moment, he's just using his wards to farm and nothing else but farm. But well, actually, Weaver also falling back in the bottom lane. Looks like EHOME, they're actually rallying 4 heroes to the bot. What they don't realise is there's only a couple of friends just hanging around the corner. There's actually 4 heroes from either side in the bot, and now a Work's going to come down to join them. The only person who is actually not there is actually FCB, and EHOME will fall back to their neutrals.
Yeah, if we currently look a little bit of the items, we can actually see that Weaver has already tanked up quite a lot. Kambu also by purchasing mechanism, so Mecha is really, really good for the small skirmishes you have, can really turn the tide around. And meanwhile, EHOME's A2O is currently getting close to 3k gold. He really wants that relic up.
Yeah, relic to Radiance, man, relic to Radiance.
Kind of is in there. I have the impression that it's difficult to farm up in Dota 2 than it is in Dota 1. Maybe it's because of the towers, and they did not gain enough towers, but normally we'd always say around the 20-minute mark you would have a second relic.
Looks like it's now time for Roshan, man. Venomancer, of course, always a great guy when you want to go for Roshan. Roshan basically just sits there attacking the wards most of the time, and if you team up with Fury, and those two can actually just bring them down by themselves and all the way.
Exactly, starts with his illusory off, so he knows what's going on.
Yeah.
But currently it's just Kambu sitting around there with his wards. The rest of the team are actually hanging around, maybe using it as a little bit of a bait.
Yeah, you still don't lose Kambu though, and we did actually have Earthshaker. Woke just hanging up on the high ground. The really sad thing is right now, or the really awesome thing for TyLoo, sad for EHOME, is that EHOME, there is nothing really much they can do about this unless they want to initiate. And the amount of time they spend in there, like they can't just sit there on the side going, oh, do we go, do we go, do we go? It's just, you've got to go, man, you've got to go. Get yourself in there, try and bring down the guy who's actually killing off Roshan, and now Kambu even just falls back. It's not even bothered by it, but it's always in the back of the mind of EHOME.
Yeah, that is actually true. TyLoo, they do really well in terms of farming, and they are really kind of tanky. I'm not quite sure if the firepower of EHOME's early game actually will suffice for mid game. 357 Sand King, he's been playing a support role, so he's not being able to get up his dagger. He actually is very, very far off it. He's only got Urn of Shadows, a normal booster speed, and a bracer. Vitality booster plus pipe of insight up on PLT though, so he is one of the very, very tanky guys. But if Doombringer actually dooms, he cannot even pop that pipe off. So it's all about timing.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see who actually Doombringer actually decides to doom in the end. Like, who do you actually want to try and lock out of the play? Great Hawk just flying over, so that basically helps EHOME to know what the hell's going on. I think Kambu actually might have even half spotted him just then, but isn't in range to actually damage him. Now the Hawk stops moving, so it goes in invis, and basically TyLoo, any surprise they want to do around Roshan is basically spoiled by that one Hawk.
Yeah. Looks like TyLoo's at work is also not even
oh man, he is in trouble, puck goes in, Fire Strike goes, Epiturn's going to follow up with a good fissure, as he stalls it up, sandstorming it up, trying to get out head still nobody dead, TyLoo goes to front line, Venomancer pops up the ulti, throwing out 357, now finally Epicenter goes out, a lot of damage to face.
Killing spree.
Sure, puck gets it, Weaver in the back. Hang around moment, cover.
and send
Finalizing. There we go, pause goes off. Weaver does get the kill.
Actually does die.
Yeah.
SK currently stuck in the trees, but maybe he'll get out. I'm not quite sure. Does he have if he has a TP score or not?
He's going to burrow himself up towards the high ground. Unless Doom can actually find him, he can still sandstorm at this point too. Well, actually no, he can't now because he actually half chained it off. The Yearn's given some time, so now the burrow strike will come and he should. Yeah, there we go. He'll get himself back out of there.
Yeah,
but that's now Roshan, or maybe not. Beastmaster is here again, as well as Lena.
And Puck brought back.
So they don't want TyLoo having Roshan. Puck's on the way.
No mana at all for him. He can't do anything. I don't know why he's going there.
Just say bait. He can sandstorm. He'll be fine, man.
Yeah, but EHOME are apparently putting enough pressure on for TyLoo to not go this.
Arcane Boots. Arcane Boots on X, and 357's feeling good again.
Yeah, excellent. This is just how EHOME do. Sometimes we don't see what they actually have in mind, but this is what differentiates us, or the commentators, from the pro players, obviously.
Yeah, EHOME. Now they're going to come in towards the mid. There's one here that's actually not there. DD's actually not involved in this fight, because he's actually up inside the neutrals right now. And they want to push the tier 2 tower down. Once again, the Plague Ward's making it very, very hard to try and push out. Venomancer's always about making a little bit of a dent.
But they might actually find DD there. That's just next to it.
No, this could actually go horrendous for DD, or maybe not. Beastmaster with a haste. He did not pop the Raw. He sees the Doombringer, but there's a lot of support coming in from TyLoo. The Fidget goes, FCP, currently stunned, then slowed up. Puck goes up, but does an orbit and Warring Rift. FCP just basically throws everything he's got. They managed to bring down Kabu. FCP, the charge on top of him, Sandstorm, they're fighting inside right now. Faith in trouble, who's taking a lot of damage. He's got nothing left, doesn't have his ulti. It's 1 second off cooldown, but he dies before he gets the Lich ulti off. 2 down for the Dire. DD, they might claim him this time, but Weaver's causing some damage. Weaver going down. Awoke on the run back out again. PLT wants to kill. He can get the kill as well. The Woke going around. Burrow strike goes. Spectra gets the last hit. Doombringer brings down Puck in the meantime. The Doom just wore him off. And now the guy we've been avoiding the entire time is the Weaver. He's the one that's been tearing up the rear end of it. And now Spectra as well as Beastmaster will fall back.
They're currently splitting up, so they go to both of them. If they want to chase it, they have to follow one of them. But currently, again, a very even fight. Support staying left, right, and center. Excellent play by EHOME to actually keep Lena alive during that time.
Yeah, Lynch just got Bill so cut during that fight, man. He had his ultimate basically come off cooldown the second he died. He's so... If the Lynch ulti popped during that fight could have completely turned around.
That is true. But Weaver getting a lot of kills, actually. And he should not be very far off his Sacred Relic. In fact, he's got 2,700 gold in the bank at the moment. While A2O, though, he's got more. He's got 4.2k. I'm not quite sure why he does not buy the Relic.
We have actually been seeing that from a couple of players, especially from some certain online Kingdom players who have been doing that. They just don't buy up items. They have like 6k, and all of a sudden then they buy it. There we go. There's your Relic. Comes up, buys it for 820, so 1350 is what he needs, and he can complete the Radiance.
They might actually go for Roshan this time around. Cabo already placing the wards, and Faith this Lich. He's in with, so he can actually scout the movement of the EHOME.
Surprising is actually on the other side of the river, though. He should be actually on the EHOME side of the river. He's in vid. There should be no sentry ward there. There actually is one sentry ward, but it's actually the Dire sentry ward because they want to counter ward before this actually happened.
They know what's happening. 357 is moving around, but they can't currently go it. PLT is not in the vicinity. He does not have any mana, so this might be actually Roshan for TyLoo.
It might be, because no one else is there. Well, Spectra can haunt it if he needs to. Lena's on the way. Puck can all in. They're just giving TyLoo time. TyLoo, last time they did attempt Roshan, it took them a long, long time to bring him down. Now with Doombringer on the front lines too, they might think about
Beastmaster's Hawk is around. They know what's going on.
The beat is going in. Kabu turns, and Lynch is actually in. Viz wears off at this point. So they've lost that surprise.
Roshan's nearly down already.
They've got to go in. Puck!
Roshan has fallen to the Dire.
Roshan goes down, and EHOME let it go.
Weaver picks up the Age of the Immortal, so he's even more difficult to kill now. He can always just destroy all the support healers and focus on A2 on afterwards. But he's got Sacred Relic and enough gold for the Radiance Recipe, so A2 is Spectre. He's got to get that Radiance before Weaver does.
Is under attack.
Yeah, he does. It always becomes a battle of the Radiance kind of push. It's back in the old ways of Dota 1. It's like, who's going to get Radiance first? Is it going to be Silverbear? Is it going to be Spectra? Who actually knows in the end? But yeah, the push power you actually get from that radiance is always so effective, but it's always effective when you get early on in the game. And this game, you haven't really managed to get like a massive amount of farm early on the piece to actually get like a 15-20 minute radiance, because then it's basically unstoppable. You basically just push lane so damn fast. But in this case, the radiance won't actually appear until about the 30-minute mark. So it's just continuous pressure, continuous damage, and a little bit of extra bite to the attack of the hero too.
Tower is under attack.
And currently it looks like EHOME is sort of pressing it a little bit, but Venomancer is already there. He's going to have all his plague wards up to defend it, and they're falling back. FCB actually having Mecha up on Lena, simply because he actually had a few kills already early game. So actually Lena is not too poor. Invisibility on top lane, they're probably going to leave it for somebody who can initiate. Maybe they're going to get into this, but yes. Sand King actually does get it. SK is going to move in now. TyLoo, they're all grouped up in the middle.
The really sad thing is SK will probably want this creep wave to die right next to him, so he actually gets the level 2 epicenter. He's sitting just on the edge of level 11.
Yeah. I'm not sure if EHOME can actually fight this at the moment. They have 357 who's just scouting for them. But a head-on fight, TyLoo's DD is always going to take one hero out of it, and Weaver basically has 2 lives. So it's really difficult for them to fight it.
Yeah, they need to actually try and pick somebody up in the neutrals or something along those lines, unless they just like pound an epicenter in. But yeah, you're right, you can't chain off anything. Like an epicenter is only going to do so much, and Doombringer's not even going to be phased by it. As he's basically, well, what's he running around on right now? We got Plate Mail, Vanguard, Pipe of Insight as well. So I'm wondering if he's even thinking about Assault Cuirass right now. Is it just boots? It's actually Tread. So maybe Cuirass or Shiva.
Oh yeah, maybe Shiva. I mean, that would be Doombringers is one of the heroes I already mentioned. He's earning a very suspected to harass simply because of his low armor. But currently now, if he has a plate mail, it actually helps his tankability quite a lot. I believe that PLC is in a little bit of trouble. He's a little bit way over his head because all his other teammates already grouped up on top lane instead.
Yeah, they'll wait to actually initiate on Kambu, but Kambu just throwing down those wards on the front lines. It's impossible to bring down that tier 2 tower when you basically just stack those level 4 wards. Takes about 4 hits at this point for most people to actually kill it. And the creep wave will be forever there just playing with the wards. Luckily though, for the EHOME side, they do actually time out. Once again, just Puckos orbing in. The war's not being affected by the orb, of course.
Yeah, Puck currently has 2.2k up, so he might go for an ultimate orb to actually go for Sheepstick afterwards to have more mods able to counter.
Well, look at TyLoo now. TyLoo, they've actually popped the smoke in the seat. They're looking for the kill, but EHOME very, very fast on the fallback. And that's all because of one thing. The Greater Hawk. They saw the smoke pop. The Greater Hawk just sitting over the top of one of the neutral camps.
And actually, what a play by PLC. He used the cool boat to actually get that last hit on the tower on mid lane. Excellent play there. And he finds an invis room, so he might actually go for a little bit of a scout as well. Spectre currently still farming the neutrals. It's very easy to do with Radiant up already. So all the other guys currently, the group of EHOME, they're grouped up on top lane. They really want this tier 2 tower. They want the map control back.
Actually, it's actually kind of funny to see this happen every single time. It's around the 30-minute mark. It keeps on happening here. One team goes down towards the bottom lane, one team goes up towards the top, and they hunt each other's neutrals, and that's it. They always completely avoid each other. They never hunt their own, they never look around. And Kambu is still going to be careful on the top, even though he's going to hold this lane out. Once that tier 2 tower is gone, EHOME basically control the newts. And
Weaver is 200 gold short, or actually 100 gold short of his Radiance. So this is probably what TyLoo are going to be waiting for, because they can press the attack easily with Aegis on Immortal on Weaver. As well as DD always taking one guy out of the fight. But looks like EHOME, they have other ideas. They really want the C2 tower, which does not have much HP anymore. They're probably just going to go to the tower and don't care for the plague wards at all.
Yeah, they'll let it go. They'll let that tower go. There's no way TyLoo could even defend that kind of tower.
It's just their positioning.
The push is always going to come. It was like Venomancer was just running interference until they finally just decided to actually get some people up there and push it hard.
ATO TPing back to the bot lane to farm the creep wave that actually just pushed a little bit further to him. Very interesting to see what he gets. So he's got 1.7k, 1.8k in the back. And so very fun. Maybe he goes for Diffusal. We've already talked about it a lot of times. There are two possibilities. They either go for Diffusal or for a straight hard.
Yeah, Weaver's Radiance is up, as well as A2O's Radiance. He said that for a while, but yeah, I prefer to see the straight hard build, man. Like, at this point, they need some stability on TyLoo. Like TyLoo, they're going to try and shut one hero down, and you know you're going to have to stick around a lot longer. The fight basically becomes twice as long for you.
EHOME are saving gold. They got really a huge amount of money on nearly all the heroes. Puck has got 3.2k in the bank.
Okay. Mid. Plague Wars now being set up here by Kabu once again. So setting up a beachhead in front of the tier 2 tower.
Maybe EHOME want to fight this and then buy back and fight again. But TyLoo, they're already falling back. They don't want to do this without a creep wave. And they're moving into the jungle to maybe catch one guy out. For example, A2O, who's currently still farming on the bot lane.
Maybe what they thought, but they've got to move as an entire team if they're going to do that. No one can be separate.
The positioning.
And TP. TP goes. DD goes back to the bottom lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't use something that was wrong after the entire team is pushing mid and then they all just basically disappear.
That is true.
And you're stuck all the way down the bottom lane on the wrong side of the river as well. It's never a place you want to go. You always stay on your side of the river unless you know what's happening on the other side. Actually, even just looking at the Greater Hawk's giving vision on the bottom right now, but even our wards, they're almost non-existent. We've got one from the Dire, just hanging out, watching that movement up towards the top lane, and one also watching the movement in towards the Radiance neutrals.
Yeah, Beastmasters are really going for tanky and supportive investments, buying up Vladimir's offering for Spectre as well. We've seen it. We've seen actually PLP doing it quite a lot of times on his Beastmaster already. Most of the time supporting A2O afterwards, where he just becomes reliant on very reliant on his ultimate.
Well, that's probably the main reason he was actually picked, funny enough.
Yeah, X though, he's bottom ultimate now, but still has enough gold in the bank to actually buy back if needed. I think this is what EHOME are counting on. Whoever gets taken up by Doom just buys back into the game.
Got a little bit of a horn out by Spectre. He's just keeping tabs on the opposition while they continue to actually farm. If he feels a little bit threatened, it's just pop your horn, check it around, and of course that Radiance too. Radiance actually works in all the haunted illusions, so wherever he goes, that burn damage does actually happen. So TyLoo just takes a little bit longer to regen themselves back up again.
That is true. But currently doesn't look like he's bought up anything yet. He's got 3k in the bank. We've seen it in the first game against RG as well, that he was not buying up despite having a 6k goal at one point. And then he just went for a straight butterfly. Yeah,
that was kind of nuts. It's like this big surprise, like how much farm he's got. Well, he's got nothing on his items, so he must have bought something.
He's got to be very confident. Smoke pops up for TyLoo. They really want the gank going and take one guy out.
FCP, one more, they can't get close enough. Silver's on the run, they go for the strike, but FCP runs down further south.
That was kind of wasted. Doombringer though having Shiva's guard up already, while Sanking has got BKB up. So he's going to impale in without that dagger and pop his BKB and channel his ultimate. But if Doombringer actually can use the Doom on that beforehand, his ultimate is still pretty screwed. I'm not quite sure if they want to give the tier 2 tower to them.
Fortification goes up, 357's got to make the move. He's got to make the move. Where's the strike? It's not there yet. DD is still hitting on top of the tower. Doom gets the last hit. And EHOME decide that they don't want to defend the tier 2 in the mid. And TyLoo are quite happy to accept it and fall back.
Not quite sure why. Really not sure why they're not going it. I think because Doombringer was tanked to the tower already. He was not on full HP. Maybe they could have actually taken him out beforehand. Sand King impaling in and channeling his ultimate while Beastmaster roars Doombringer to take Doombringer out before the fight actually happens.
Yeah, and then the fight can go your way. But the bigger problem then you have is like Lich Ult is going to be popping off, Benno as well. And if ES gets a good ulti off, then things go badly. It just depends how many abilities it actually takes to bring down Doombringer. And then you got to deal with a Weaver as well. And it's a Weaver 3 times over. Once from the Aegis, and once also from the time-lapse. In fact, it's almost 4 times over when the time-lapse comes off cooldown after he dies.
Yeah, that is true. And he's got 2k up in the bank. So, also maybe saving him from buyback, I'm not quite sure. Maybe he goes for Yasha afterwards.
Aegis has actually been reclaimed. Roshan comes back up again, so it's only a twice over Weaver this time. And they're right next to each other, outside the Rosh pit. And the TD rune's popped off from Beastmaster. He wants it, but he knows they're there. And they're going to look for a gank here. TD is the one they want. TD is the one they want.
Just X is coming out over the top, but they're still not going it. Both teams don't want the initiate going.
I don't think both teams feel confident enough to actually win the fight. It's the only reason why they actually hold back like they are, unless they're trying to actually turn things to their advantage, like map position. If you're going to fight from the high ground, then you're going to serve an advantage, but that fight would have taken, it would have been flat ground, everyone's on even terms.
And you currently have the
they're going to go! Roar is on, TD! He's going to get down the pipe, top stop, there's going to be no effect from the Venom ulti. They still haven't got TD down yet. There's Beastbar, stays alive, but SK goes in. Good burrow strike, double kill from it. Kabu's in trouble, 3 down right now. EHOME, the great play here. And now they still got to bring down the other 2 big guys. Silver, time shifting himself back again. The burrow strike just missing Silver in the Shuki. They couldn't see him. DD goes back towards the front lines. But the only downside for EHOME just then, they didn't get Doom, they didn't get Weaver, but they still got 3-0, and they should now be able to claim Roshan.
Yeah, this should be fairly easy. This is like a very good time to do that. They still respawning, but maybe they can't actually do it just in time because Oshik is already back. Lich is back. These are 2 support heroes who are not that high level. So unless they can do it that fast,
Radiant's top tower
sure.
is under attack.
Spectre's got Messerschmitt's Reaver up already, so she's definitely going to go for hard to tank it up.
Radiant's
But
top tower has
double
fallen.
TP coming in. They really don't want to give it. And Roshan's still not dead yet.
This is going to be close. This is going to be very
Roshan
close.
has
Even now the
fallen to
smoke
the
drops. They're going to initiate even with the Roshan. The flame is on. The Fiji goes in. It's locked EHOME in play. Sheevas goes. X trying to keep it alive for the moment. A2O's trying to bring down Silver. Silver's in trouble. Awoke is actually also in trouble. The first one to die is actually TyLoo. The Sandstorm goes. There goes the egg popping. There goes the Roar as well. Doombringer's caught in. A2O's back up alive. 1 slice, 2 slice. They still need to bring down Doom. They bring down Doom. Venom's on the retreat back out again. Faith as well, but Faith has actually called out the Dream Call. X is trying to go on him. X on minimal HP. A2O, where's the dagger? Who needs it? 357's going to burrow strike. So many kills for him. And big play there by EHOME.
Play by EHOME. Insane, they're using the 80-70 model of Spectre to actually bait it. Spectre dies, comes back up,
Dyer's
and all behind you use damaging double dispersion. So if you hit Spectre, you actually always get reflected damage on yourself. This was a very important fight for EHOME. 23-8 is the scoreline. They might even go for pushing mid lane.
Yeah, maybe, but maybe not. 2-2's back up again in 20 seconds. Silver's actually going to look for a kill here on 357. He might even be able to pull it off. Sandstorm goes, so 357 in a bit of a sticky situation right now. Can burrow strike himself out? He's going to have to in a second, and he does move perfectly in time. The fissure came through, but now he's on the run. Silver's there. 357 has no support. He's still getting burnt by the radiance, but Silver has no mana. He has 1 Shuki up his sleeve, but he didn't want to actually go it in the end.
Yeah, he's probably fearing the support that actually could have come in for 357, and with no mana, the Weaver is just a free kill.
Yeah, but there was no support, and the ruse was played. Poker players coming out.
Yeah, he did not know. But great play by 357 overall, actually on the Sand King, opting for the BKB instead of the dagger.
Yeah, works so much easy. The dagger is awesome for positioning.
Am I seeing it correctly? Beastmaster also purchasing Heart of Tarask.
Oh man.
Everyone is so tanky on the EHOME side.
EHOME so
it's close to impossible to bring down Spectre already. And Spectre also saying, yeah, you know what, I can do that too, purchasing another Heart of Tarask.
It is just amazing the way EHOME are currently playing. It's not surprising. I don't think that they haven't even dropped a single game in this tournament so far.
They have not.
Yeah, 3-0, 3-1. TyLoo actually having a little bit of trouble. They lost their first game.
They lost their first game.
They did come back and win the second and third, and that did actually come down to like not playing on a LAN scene before. They've always been playing on service from inside China, which is always difficult.
It is very difficult since they did not even have the specs to actually run it. Sanking also purchasing Vanguard. Everyone is going for a very tanky build.
Yeah, Sanking. I really love the fact he's actually going tank and BKB. It's a big thing. Like a Blink Dagger is almost like a bit of a cheat, even though it does work well. To actually be able to cast the epicenter, well, cast the burrow strike properly, getting close, while the range is good for initiation. It's, yeah, you can do it without, and your other items can basically be a lot more effective. So a Vanguard lets you live after you go in there if you do get yourself called out, and then you have more time to burrow strike once again.
EHOME, they're in a really strong position currently. I think they should really utilize the advantage to the best, unless TyLoo comes back. So I really think they should maybe go it. I'm a little surprised that PLC has actually not bought up Gem of True Sight yet. Yeah, this is just one of these. Oh, he has. He's got Gem of True Sight. My bad, and Puck finishing up that cheap stick, so one more disabled up the sleeve. Weaver also completing Heart of Taras. And I am actually currently seeing that Veramaster has a Messerschmitt Reaver in his inventory as well.
And Puck just got a sheep stick.
Yeah, this is definitely going to help the EHOME. One more disable, it's 3.5 seconds, which is a really long time in the Dota world.
Yeah. TyLoo now going into the defense mode. Kabu, those wars, and TyLoo, and this is going to be where this game starts to actually move on the knife's edge. How hard is it going to be to actually push in to TyLoo's base? Venomans are going to be putting up the walls to actually make basically a massive wall of wards. They're going to actually rotate up and go through the top, but so does TyLoo. They're up there. Doom brings on the front line. Happy to hold the line. The Weaver burn for the radius, doing all it needs to. A2O is also on the front, but both the crew waves basically just neutralize themselves out, and no one can initiate.
It's difficult.
Especially not EHOME next to the tier 3 tower.
Exactly, they're next to tier 3 tower, they're fighting uphill, so all the ranged heroes, around 25% of the attacks are going to be missing. So this is, currently we will actually see EHOME do the same thing to RG, just sieging them out.
I love as well, there's also a sentry ward just sitting inside the Dire's base in a perfect position. So EHOME, where they would normally play an ops ward to actually see up there, they can't. There's no vision for them. They always have to walk up the hill to actually see in. And
they're currently always rotating between top and mid lane. Using that Hawk to actually scout it quite a little bit, but Venomans instantly seeing it and placing down a plague ward to kill that Hawk. Just staying out of the lane.
Yeah, 357's there. And the Hawk now goes in Viz, so harder to bring down. Beastmaster acting on the top. This could be, they've actually got a half wave here, but they're still taking the tower. And the Venomans of wards like having your own permanent creep wave there. EHOME cannot find a chink in TyLoo's armor at the moment.
Unless they actually want to dive this. Unless you want to dive the base and kill somebody.
That's very
really risky.
Your timing will have to be perfect.
Exactly, because obviously you have a Lich in the lineup, and as soon as you go in and clump together, then all the ultimate is going to bounce around you, and might actually take out 2 support heroes instantly.
Yeah. Access to light top again. And again, they're just keeping the creep waves down. As far as these waves actually go, we've actually had one hero fall back. A2O's gone down towards the bottom lane. So yeah. I think EHOME, while they might keep the 4 up here and Spectre can just haunt him when he needs to, it's
what I actually think is gonna EHOME, the 4 heroes are gonna actually put up the pressure, because maybe bait TyLoo into going them and then Spectre horns in. On the meantime, Spectre's gonna push their lane, so what EHOME they want to do is have all 3 lanes pushing into TyLoo's base and then finding an opening. Yasha up for Spectre, and instantly taking out Lich, they're really going in. A2O horns in, and
what the hey? What's he doing in there? He's inside the main base. They're going to chase him down. He's doomed. There's no dagger to get out of here. If they bring down A2O, there's going to be a horrible death. Venomans was brought down by Lena because SK's coming through the back end. The Punk ulti saving the chase. And Doombringer and Weaver are caught him on the ground.
And with new Doom to count on, it's even more harder to bring him down.
Fissure is out, they're holding them on the tier 3 tower, and
they managed to
tier 3
claim
goes
the
down.
tier 3, they want that Rax, they really want it.
Can they get it though? That's going to be the question. There's 2 heroes down for the Dire.
Dire's
cannot fight
structures are
this.
fortified.
We have the glyph popped off, fortification is up,
Dire's
Orb
middle
goes
barracks
out,
has
Hell's
fallen.
taking out the creep wave, melee is gone.
Looking like double mid-back for EHOME, they're rotating top lane, they really want this, they want to end this right now.
They've got to be careful not to overextend. If they lose a couple of heroes, they might have trouble. Fissure goes. The Shiva's got popped as well. Rich ulti bouncing into heroes. He over the horrible position. 357's almost dead. In fact, he is so now. Weaver does the job. Then Time is back. He took a lot of damage, but he is getting himself back out as well as X orbing over the top. PLT wants to get out, but he will get vision, held in place, will take the damage. A2O trying to fight the front line. Still, Beastmaster goes down, and SCP also in trouble. 2 down, Beastmaster, SK, they have gone.
But
Weaver.
SCP's already used it, he has managed to kill Weaver, so that was really important, a very important kill on A2O. A2O, he's so tanky. It's really difficult to bring him down, especially if Weaver's not there. I don't think they can do it. I really don't think they can do it, and they are actually falling back.
Yeah, but still, 3 heroes down, they defend that. Weaver is the one to go down, but they did lose their mid-racks. They still held on to the top. They held on to the top, and that's the most important thing for them right now.
Yeah, a little bit of overextension there, but they actually managed to do that, baiting TyLoo to come out and fight, and Lena managed to use that Dragon Stick to actually kill off Weaver, which is a very important kill.
Yeah, Weaver, if we were still up, they would be pushing right now. They would just jump on the back of that mid and go, you know what, I reckon we can actually get to the tier 3 and actually do some damage before that point. But they managed to kill off Weaver, and now I think that's the only reason why we actually don't see a counteract right now.
Although Spectre's already completed a Manta style, so even more Spectre's going to be in that. When he uses the Haunt and goes in with his Manta styles, there will be 7 illusions pounding on everyone who even dares to come close. And so this will be very difficult. I mean, DD's Doombringer, he's incredibly tanky. Like, he basically never dies in the fight, but he does not deal enough damage. He's got no DPS. He does not deal any DPS.
Just waiting to see what else actually going to be bought. I was just a points boost with the Manta style being on the chicken. Make sure that chicken does not die. Keep it in a safe place. I got stop saying actually chicken. It's actually it's a flying donkey, man.
Really a little bit funky. But all the EHOME guys currently, to note though, 820, he does not have the goal for buyback. He cannot buy back right now.
In fact, most of the EHOME side can't buy back. If Beastmaster dies as well as Puck, they won't have enough money to actually get the buyback. But the same is said about the Dire. The Dire, not a single hero has more than 1,000 gold. It's so limited for what they've actually got. In fact, the Woga just noticed too, 0 for 6.
Looks like EHOME, they want to pressure this. They actually want to use mid lane, which is already... Actually, they got the Rex, but they might use this as an opening to get into the base easier.
Yeah, it could be. Push in the mid, and that does force TyLoo to have to defend. The tier 4 towers will take a lot of damage from that creep wave when it pushes in, especially when you've got a couple of siege creeps behind it. Now looking for the mid, EHOME are coming up. DD instantly popping up, just wants to actually hiding, waiting. He's not even moving right now. Ice Armor and Invis is there. And I don't know if DD's just basically taking his hands off the keyboard, but he's just standing there doing nothing. He's like the Statue of Liberty now. He finally moves.
But meanwhile, EHOME, they are pushing top lane, so he has to actually move top. It's always DD standing on the front lines as a Doombringer, being so incredibly tanky. Both sides have wards up, so they can see each other.
And the Radiance wave is pushing in towards the mid though. If FCB sit up here for about 2 minutes, that wave will just keep on pushing, just like 820 is pushing the bottom lane. It's forced Weaver to actually go down towards the bottom lane. Downside for Weaver, he's going to find himself completely out of position once 820 haunts, and then he's just down there by himself. EHOME will push in the top lane, take out the tower.
Well, 820 can actually just horn in if he wants to. EHOME, they're pressuring this. They know that maybe they do know that they have no gold for buyback. PLTO is using just the axes because he really does not want to use the ulti on Doombringer because he's not going to die anyway.
Yeah.
He's saving it for Weaver. They really want to take out Weaver, but Weaver's currently not there.
I just realized what TyLoo's actually done. He's consumed the Hawk. DD's just consumed the Hawk, so when he actually stops moving, he goes invis. He's actually taken Beastmaster's Hawk's ability.
Oh, really?
That's why when he stands still, he has actually invis. That is so awesome. It's like an easy Lothar. Now he stands still, invis goes, and then just comes back out of it. So boss, man, so boss. Beastmaster thinking about going for it, but unable to do so. Still just sitting on the high ground. Doombringer's getting more farm with every second that passes as well. But the mid is the only problem right now for the Dire.
But H2O, he currently just followed it off goal to actually buy it back. He might actually again use his life to actually trade maybe for the tower or something else and then buy back and haunt back in. But it's Roshan time as it looks like.
Yeah, Roshan, they need that Legacy Mortal, and the biggest thing right now is too, the Radiant can go for Roshan because they've got the mid ranks down. But what happens when TyLoo pushes out, the mid lane pushes by itself, and the tier 4 towers can only defend for so much.
This is also what EHOME has always been doing. They're really patiently waiting their opponents out and baiting them into coming. Because currently TyLoo, they probably know that they're going Roshan, but they cannot arrive in time. It's close to impossible, so this is a free Roshan for EHOME.
Yeah, that it is. EHOME, they're going to love this one. This is going to make it even harder right now for TyLoo to defend. The next fight, where's it going to come? And at this point too, EHOME, with the amount of time they actually have, they've managed to farm a little bit. Now Puck can find back as well as 820. So if they actually want to push this in, they can do it suicidally. They can just go in and basically, you know what, we're going to do so much damage.
I'm not quite sure why they gave the cheese to PLT, because he does not deal that much damage, I believe. So he's actually Beastmaster taking up the cheese while Spectre takes up the Aegis of Immortal, and now they're going to go for the final push.
Yeah, but the question is which direction? 8-2-0. They're heading up towards the top. It's going to be the top once again. Puck and Lena are here. Beastmaster and SK. Every single ulti for both the teams is up. Puck is orbing in. Spots up DD on the front lines. Plague Wards, and they are not set up just yet.
Gonna go, they're just going to tank the tower. Brother Noah so incredibly tanky.
Wait for it. Venom goes in. Ulti. SK got to go. Shiva's gun. It's absolute chaos. Blue Charlie's going to bounce around as well. There's no Creeway. Going to do a lot of damage to EHOME right now. A lot of damage on 8-2-0. He does pop, but he has the Aegis, so he will be back again. SK's the first one to go down. Puck on the retreat. He only just managed to get out from Kabu. And now also the fissure. 8-2-0 caught in place. PLT. Time for the cheese. Not time enough. And he will go down. There he goes. It won't take a lot of damage by 8-2-0 now with a dominating kill on the Earthshaker. Still managing to actually live through this. Aegis Immortal still on top of him. They want to bring him down. Puck has been picked off. There's 4 down. The only person alive right now is 8-2-0 for EHOME. And he wants to bring down Doombringer. He wants to make sure that TyLoo cannot push from here. And he's doing the damage all by himself. Finally the Aegis pops. Tanking Doom, tanking Weaver, and Doom realizes I'm in over my head and goes back again because the tier 4 tower, the mid lane's been pushed. But still, 4 heroes down, Spectre Aegis pop, and they didn't lose an extra rack. Great play by TyLoo to actually get through that.
Yeah, there was a lot of chaos. So many E-spells popping up at once, we could not see that. I'm not quite sure if Sand King actually managed to get off his ultimate or not. Maybe he actually got doomed beforehand.
There's one way to find out, man.
Beastmaster actually popped his cheese, but he still died.
There was no epicenter. No epicenter, it's not on cooldown. SK had no ultimate during that fight.
Yeah. Because it has a very, very long cooldown, and A2O using his illusions to actually pressure it a little bit. The tower, I want going for the tower.
I love it. The tower's not going to go down though.
No, it's not.
The backdoor feature is actually still in there. But it's an interesting point right now, and it's going to be something we're going to pick through the replay later. Did DD cast the Doom on SK the second he
finally PLT actually purchased the Blink Dagger. They really want that initiation going this time around.
Bottom tower is under attack.
There's just some point when tank is not enough. Silver actually has been pushing in the bottom lane too. Manta's up for him. Trying to bring down the last tier 2 tower on the map. I don't know why. And really, everything at this point points out the fact that EHOME should win this game. But TyLoo, after that last battle, it just feels to me that they actually can take this.
They definitely do. I mean, they have a very, very strong late game as well. Doombringer can still turn into DPS. Lich is not to be underestimated, neither is Venomancer with his ultimate.
Yeah. So that Lich ulti really did a crap load of damage when they tried to push in, and the Creeway was demolished by both the Razors, so it was a massively effective Lich ulti.
The biggest problem that TyLoo are currently facing is just the gold and just the economy that EHOME has. Puck managed to actually purchase a BKB as well, so he can go in safely. The one who actually needs a Blink Dagger, though, I believe, is Sand King. He still doesn't have one, so he cannot initiate, but he deals a lot of damage in the team fight.
Looks like we're going to Ghost Scepter coming down for Lena.
Very important, because the Weaver always likes to take her out before she gets out of her Laguna Blade. So very good in this case, and definitely a good choice of item. Lena also having Point Wizard to boost her up a little bit, and as we actually see once again, 80 Spectre, he's got 6.2k in the bank. And they might actually go for Doombringer.
I think they might even get him. No, they won't. There's too much life on him, man. That's 3.6k HP. You can't kill that. There is no way you can kill that with just one person. 820 is not enough. However, X might be able to help out.
Yeah, Diffuser Blade being purchased now by Spectre. And so Spectre having our Diffuser Blade to actually mana burn the crap out of everyone. When he haunts, Lich basically just dies instantly. As well as Awoke, obviously he does not have a dagger up, I believe.
I think this is EHOME's time, man. This is EHOME's time. SK's on the way. They're going to wait for that Diffuser Blade to actually get there. Or will they? They want to push in right now because they've got 2 siege creeps sitting on the back right now. And that is what you need when you want to try and push in towards the base. It's not going to be enough. DD's still on the front line, so now everything's here. Everybody's up. The siege creeps are still there. Puck, ults in. Doesn't damage any creep.
Might actually sit here, they're using his dagger to actually go up and maybe take out a Weaver before everything happens.
DD. Little bit too much damage being taken by him.
Dire
2-0.
structures are
Straight
fortified.
in, doesn't even care about it. The tower goes down.
And the fortification actually is wasted because the tower went down beforehand.
Oh no.
So this might actually mean that they can go in without any fear and take out the melee wreck that they so want.
That is a massive blunder on the fortification.
Especially because mid lane currently the creepers are pushing it as well.
This is going to be bad for TyLoo unless they can pull this off. Doombringer, a lot of damage being taken on the front. He's got to pop that Shivas. He's got to pop something. A2O gets done. There goes the Shivas. Doom is in a lot of trouble. Little is going to bounce in. No green wave, but SKM being tapped out. But he takes a lot of damage from that, but he's already dead. Big fight back from Doombringer. He's already back in. Silver, no trouble. He's a walking chicken. A word comes in. What a fissure. What an ulti. Hex is forced to fall back. Lena's already gone. Hex is almost dead, but he manages to actually get himself out with a blink. Kabu also on the front line. The Burrow strike and Sandstorm is there. Yes, she's keeping alive, but A2O's in trouble. Weaver is getting a double kill. Wants to get SK as well. A2O though will be the prize they want to get from this. The mid is still being pressured while they're trying to bring down A2O. They're attacking the main tower. In fact, it's almost dead. Weaver finally brings him down. Triple kill for Weaver, but A2O is back. Kabu is dead, and Kabu is definitely dead. Spectre with a double kill. He's just going to turn around, start attacking on the ancient fortress. While TyLoo, they've got a defender. Push Beastmaster back. 357 with the Burrow strike. Weaver time-lapse himself back out again, and then they're going to hold this. They're going to hold this. Beastmaster wants to stay alive. Still, Weaver killing them, holding them back, and they hold onto their base. Will they bring down Beastmaster as well as A2O, or will Weaver take a fall? Shiva's guard pops again. Kabu wants to fall back after the buyback goes, but TyLoo actually defended. EHOME have fallen back.
EHOME are falling back, but the TyLoo, the main building, the Ancient, is there's a nothing HP, but they went. E2O, he really wanted that main building instead of actually going for the meteorics. I think that would have been easier.
I still cannot believe after all of that, the Rax is up on the top and the bottom, and still TyLoo are in this game. It's not over.
It's not over yet.
And there's Roshan probably about to come up in a couple of minutes, and we just hit the hour mark. Again, going over 60 minutes here. If you are down in Cologne and you are not at Gamescom, you should be. Down here at the Dota booth, we're in Hall 7. Check us out, guys, check us out.
And Spectre already nearly having full-on equipment. It's really difficult to actually think about what she can purchase next. She might actually sell that Vanguard for a butterfly. But looks like TyLoo, they're checking it out. Roshan's not back up again though.
Not yet. I think he's about another 2 minutes away. And then he'll come back up again, and then the Aegis Immortal. If TyLoo can get the Aegis Immortal, then they have a chance.
They definitely will have a chance then.
They can push hard, but the question is, who do they give it to? Do they give it to Doom? Does he just drop like the Talisman of Evasion? Does, like, what point do they go?
They definitely will give it to the Weaver, I believe.
The Weaver? Over Weaver?
Yes, everyone actually tries to kill the Weaver, but he's so damn hard to kill because of his positioning.
Hang on. I'm seeing a Radiant and now another Sacred Relic. Are we going to see
Divine Rapier?
Possible. The Rapier Aegis.
Rapier Aegis.
It's been a while, man.
TyLoo, they want to go for that. They really want to go.
And he'll just
initiation, PLT being forced back.
Oh,
PLT, he's dead.
Lich ulti. Oh, this is a huge loss. Huge loss for Beastmaster. The Shiva's to hold in place. TyLoo may have just got the kill to change it around, but Beastmaster buys back. It cost him a lot of money to do so.
And A2 is currently there on the bottom lane. He's crushing the racks. He's currently on his own. The TyLoo boys, they were in the mid.
They've got to get back. TP's going to come though. And A2O falls back. Oh, this is starting to get a little bit shaky for both teams.
And one single fight can decide this match.
I want to ask right now, who has BTs? Positioning for here, if a creep wave gets in and you're just getting the last couple of hits on that last tower, you're going to need your BTs. I want to see him on A2O, man. He can buy him too. 5,600 gold in the bank account for Spectre right now.
He's got so much gold, but this is A2O style, not buying up anything yet.
Save it for the buybacks. But the buybacks are on cooldown too. You can't always buy back.
That is true, but I think he should be off cooldown for Spectre now.
Yeah, it will be. But if he buys back, what's the point of the extra gold? You're going to have to wait even longer, and then you're going to get a couple more kills.
They probably want to go for top, because the tier 3 tower is already gone.
Ward goes up, taking up the free wave.
FCB staying very, very close. Next wave going to come in with 2 catapults.
They're going to rotate up. Weaver's on the Shooky to get himself up there in time. A2O is just going to go straight for the racks. Shiva's guard popped. A2O still soft fighting on the front ground. But a bounce happening in the back end of play. Kaboom! He's caught out. The Venomancer goes down. He still managed to pop off his ulti in time. Fate's in trouble too. Lich is forced back. They're still fighting on. Silver's in trouble, but that's actually just an illusion in the end. He just pops it up. But TyLoo, they're still holding the front lines. Silver just shookies himself through.
But Venom, they have the one guy down, and TyLoo, he's taking it.
Burrow! Fisher will save him for the moment. Only for the moment. Shiva's guard pops. Lich is looking for a great ulti. He might get it too, but there's a big creep wave here. A lot of damage being done to EHOME
PLT should probably go down. Silver's actually being stunned right now. He time loses back out of it. Again, very good Fisher by Awoke all the time for the good positioning.
Dyer's
Trying to hold
ancient
EHOME
is
off,
under
but EHOME
attack.
knocking on the front door. They want the racks, they need the racks. A2O is going to go
Dyer's
straight
barracks are
ahead.
under
They've
attack.
got to suffer.
Radiant
Tyler's going to
Dire
suffer, but
structures are fortified.
the main base was being attacked. In the meantime, the creepway push in. EHOME take it out.
Big congratulations for EHOME for taking this match. TyLoo, they could not have defended against 2 on 2 front lines all the time. And the creeps are finishing this. And congratulations for EHOME. They're the first team to actually go through round 1 of the winners bracket.
We're at one of the winners bracket. That has been TyLoo drops down into the losers bracket now. And EHOME, congratulations to them. They're basically a team which a lot of people underestimated before this competition actually happens.
Everyone was saying that EHOME would be the weakest Chinese team, but they can't be proven. They have a 4-0 record. They've taken out TyLoo, they've taken out IG, 2 of the top teams of China already. And probably they will be going up against a European team next.
Can we ask for an online Kingdom Nirvana international matchup? We can find out.
That will actually depend on how they were faring against IG.
That would definitely, man. IG, not a team to actually go out, but we do actually have, I believe it's SGC coming up next.
We are actually switching a little bit around, so we have the losers bracket coming up next.
Yep.
SGC against Virus, 2 teams we have not been casting yet.
In fact,
so it would be very nice once to cover them.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. Because we're all about sharing the love here. It's the world of Dota, man. We're going to share it with the entire world. And because all these lovely people down here at Gamescom, we can see up here from our little perch, the massive, massive crowd that's moving through Gamescom. Millions of people coming through this area. And we're actually going to do SGC versus Virus, yep.
Yes,
So,
it's just been confirmed. We're going to do SGC against Virus. The 2 replacement teams going up against each other, so to speak. LGD could not come, unfortunately, because of disbandment. Stars Boba could not arrive because of visa issues, but we have 2 replacement teams, and they will be going up next.
Yeah, and SGC actually performed pretty well. Like, a lot of people weren't expecting them to take out their first match, but they did it. They actually did it against, was it GT?
Mineski.
Mineski.
They managed to win against Mineski, which was quite an achievement. On the other hand, Virus, they had a very tough group indeed. They've a 0-3 record, but that does not mean anything. They're dropping to the losers bracket, and they can prove themselves now by fighting the SGC head-on.
They can. These 2 teams, nice, neatly matched. So we should have a good game of Dota coming up very, very soon. So guys, if you're on the live stream, don't go anywhere. Keep the streams going. We've got millions of people tuning in right now. It is a great world. It is the world of Dota 2, shared to the world here at Gamescom 2011. If you have not checked it out, get yourself down to the Valve booth. Stick around. More action over the next 4 days. That's right. We've got 5 days in total of competition. I hope the players can take it. I hope our voices can take it. I hope the crowd can take the excitement as well.
Oh, definitely. So, well, I guess you'll see you guys for the next match, SGC against Virus. We have a little bit of a short break now.
Yeah, short break, guys. Grab yourself a drink. Make sure you stay hydrated. That's what it's all about. And we'll be back in just a moment, guys. Stick around.